All right, so we continue to roll on here on a Friday, a snowy Monday up here on the East Coast of the country. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears. Would the Chicago Bears be wise to hire Kliff Kingsbury? And if they did hire Kliff Kingsbury, this means that the Chicago Bears are going to pair Kliff Kingsbury with Caleb Williams because Kliff Kingsbury was the offensive coordinator last year at USC. So I believe that this is the right move for the Chicago Bears. I do. Because I look at Justin Fields, and as a quarterback, Justin Fields is somebody that his ceiling as a passer is close to being reached. He is fairly accurate. He can throw the ball deep. He's very mobile. I said that he was accurate, but he's only accurate when you're really scheming up like wide open plays. I mean, his throwing motion is inconsistent. So let's analyze the paths, because if you're going to stay with Justin Fields, you're going to pay Justin Fields out. So what you could do is you could trade this pick for maybe 2 additional first-round picks. So I guess, would you be swapping, or would you want to pay out? So if you swap with the Atlanta Falcons or just some random team in the top 10, I want to be able to go out and get a Malik Neighbors then, and maybe swap, get an additional first rounder, and get 2 seconds. If you're going to be swapping, if you're going to be trading the first pick out, it better be for an absolute just landslide of picks. Because I believe that Caleb Williams is the clear-cut number 1 quarterback in this class. I don't believe that Drake May is close at all to Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is maybe the most talented quarterback to come out of college. And now I guess this can age better, but I even think he's more talented than Trevor Lawrence coming out of college, because he's more mobile. His arm strength is in the 100 percentile. The ability to throw the ball moving right, going left, his elasticity, his flexibility in which ways that he can throw the football. The guy just has a very strong lower half, and he can throw the ball, he can throw it with different levels of touch. He's a true artist playing the position of quarterback. He is like Steph Curry playing basketball. There are certain players that make what they do an art, okay? Mahomes, when he's throwing the football, it's art. It's incredible the way that he can throw it with touch, or the way that he can laser it in, the way he can change arm angles. The reason why Caleb Williams is not considered Mahomes or a perfect prospect is because of several reasons. One, Caleb Williams is about 6 feet tall, or 6'1". I'd say that Mahomes is 2 inches taller than Williams, which is a big deal. Mahomes is a little bit stockier, put together better than Williams. Mahomes is strong. Now, Williams can continue to get stronger. I think his upper body can get stronger. So that's another reason. The other one is that Caleb Williams has been in the spotlight for a long time. He was at Oklahoma, then he was at USC. Caleb Williams is known to be incredibly confident. Very confident player. At times, that confidence can bleed into what people are uncomfortable to say is, maybe is he not able to be coached? Okay, can you coach Caleb Williams well? Is he cocky? Is he too confident? All right, and I don't know Caleb Williams. All right, but this stems from comments like, I want part ownership in an NFL team, and I've never taken a snap yet. This can stem from, I'm going to go up in the stands and cry openly. I'm going to paint my fingernails, which I know is going to get a lot of, pushback. So Caleb Williams does things in a brash way. He is not, I guess, cookie cutter quarterback. He could be a personality. Now, how easy is he to coach? Is he going to throw teammates under the bus? We'll have to see. Ironically, Spencer Rattler was somebody that I thought was getting unfairly treated for how he acted as an 18-year-old on a Netflix show in which that was completely blown out of proportion, and everybody said Caleb Williams is the really good guy and Spencer Rattler is a self-centered and very difficult person to deal with. At South Carolina, Spencer Rattler, not only did he not get into any of those problems, but Spencer Rattler was also considered to be an impeccable leader at South Carolina. So it shows you people can grow. So Caleb Williams, again, I like a lot of his confidence. So I happen to like it more than some people are so off put by that they're letting that, creep into the evaluation. When you look at the player, he's excellent, and he actually could really inspire confidence. Now, Justin Fields is a tremendous leader at the Chicago Bears. He's beloved by the teammates. He's really liked by the fan base. For a quarterback who hasn't won a lot of games in a very impatient society, like Justin Fields has made some splash plays, and Justin Fields is the leader of the team. So I do believe that the likability of Fields is really swaying in his favor, the way that he carries himself like a true professional at Chicago. And drafting a quarterback, it's unknown how these guys are going to conduct themselves as the leaders. However, let's look at Caleb Williams. The only downsides of Williams are his height, size, and that at times he could try to do too much and turn the ball over a little bit, which to me, I don't care at all about really at all, because, if he goes and goes off and improvises 5 out of 7 times, that play is going to result in a touchdown or something insane. He also needed to carry the team because the defense was terrible. The defense at USC was garbage. All right. He had one bad game against Notre Dame in which the physicality got to him. All right. The only thing that's going to hold him back in the NFL is if the scheme is not great and if he continues to argue with teammates and coaches. So is he going to do that at the NFL level? I mean, saying that you want to own, part of an NFL team as somebody who has not played it down in the NFL, that seems to be something that veterans are not going to completely like in this process. But I look at Caleb Williams, and I think that he's the most talented prospect coming into the NFL draft. I'm going to say since, I think Josh Allen's more talented. Probably Mahomes is more talented. You can argue about Richardson, but actually Williams is a better passer. Williams would be a number 1 pick most years. C.J. Stroud has been so terrific that C.J. Stroud would be the first pick in the draft because C.J. Stroud is taller and more accurate, and C.J. Stroud has already done it at the NFL level. But I'm telling you guys that Caleb Williams, if you give truth serum to general managers around the NFL, even the Dallas Cowboys would probably select Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick. So, and that could get interesting if Chicago's going to move this pick. So Caleb Williams is the prized possession in this class because he has the best arm strength in the class. Michael Penix, you could argue, but Williams throwing on the run is what you're going to have to do. He's often throwing from a muddy pocket, from a pocket that isn't very clean. Caleb Williams can throw with incredible touch. Caleb Williams is incredibly accurate. He makes big explosive plays. If the draft were last year, he would have been the number 1 overall pick. People are defending it. People are spreading information about him. They're trying to nitpick Caleb Williams in this process. If I was a general manager, he would be the number 1 pick for me if I'm Chicago. Because you could try to get cute and continue to acquire draft picks, but look at what happened with the St. Louis Rams when they tried to acquire draft picks. Did they ever win a Super Bowl in that RG3 trade with the Washington Redskins? They did not. They did not do it. So you have a chance to land a generational quarterback, and if Williams hits, which I think he will, then you're setting yourself up for a decade of really competent, good football in which you're always in the mix for the playoffs. So if I were as a general, and the character stuff, first of all, I think a lot of USC teammates like him. And again, like Caleb is, he's still growing. I mean, the guy is 22 years old. And like I said, that's up to people that know Caleb Williams, and that is going to be up to people. So again, I'm just telling you what is out there. Like some of these like painting your nails, it's not my style. And neither is saying about the ownership comments. I want to see somebody prove it, and then they can absolutely go and say that. But Caleb Williams also inspires confidence and swag that I do happen to like. So again, I really like the guy's game. If my favorite team had Caleb Williams at quarterback, I am freaking pumped. So, and then Kliff Kingsbury coming into the fold. Kliff was an NFL head coach. He is very qualified because of his head coaching experience to be an offensive coordinator. And then Eberflus can kind of work on defense and can let Kliff run the show on the offensive side of the ball. Eberflus is already in trouble. First 2 years weren't very good for Matt Eberflus. He already needs something to go well. With this defense that they have in Chicago, they have some weapons. Caleb Williams can really be a big-time player. And then you can also try to pair him with another like wide receiver. I don't know if it's T. Higgins or more speed in the second round. Caleb Williams, I believe, would be the pick. If you're going to go with Justin Fields, then you're going to have to get a bevy of picks. It's going to have to be a great haul. So either or for Chicago, the trade with the Carolina Panthers was a massive success. The only way that I think that they can honestly mess this up is Drake May, again, is somebody that from a character standpoint is one of the best, is somebody that's a great guy that, again, is one of my favorite prospects just because he's a great kid and comes from a tremendous family, and this is somebody that has caused no problems or waves at North Carolina. Neither has Jaden Daniels really at LSU or any of the other quarterbacks. But specifically with Drake May is somebody that I look at in this process, and he doesn't have any of those elite traits. He runs a little bit. He has height, but he does not have a lot of weight. He runs a little bit like Desmond Ridder will run, where he's thin. He can escape the pocket a little bit. His throwing motion isn't even that compact or quick, and the ball will die on Caleb Williams. The deep ball will die on him. He will underthrow receivers where Caleb Williams has a ton more horsepower. It is not even close. Caleb Williams is by far the best quarterback prospect in this draft. There are going to be quarterbacks in this draft that are going to find success. I could see Bo Nix going into a fine position and finding success. I could see Jaden Daniels being good, being fine at the NFL level. There is a way in which Michael Penix is good. But Michael Penix, again, has to go to a really good scheme fit. I even think Penix sitting for 1 year, even though Penix is older, Penix needs to know what throws he can make at the NFL level, which are going to get picked off consistently, and where he can test the boundaries. But I think Penix sitting for 1 year, and you create a good offensive line around Penix, he's going to be good. So there's quarterbacks here that I can see being good. McCarthy and Drake May, those are quarterbacks that I don't see panning out really and being consistent, really good NFL quarterbacks. I just don't. Even though McCarthy's one, and same with Drake, but I don't see those quarterbacks as having incredible skill sets. I would maybe even take Spencer Rattler. And I know Rattler at South Carolina was up and down, but you look at his circumstances, Rattler could eventually be a talent. I view maybe Williams and May as like third or fourth round quarterbacks. So there we go, guys. I think that Chicago, again, I would lean towards, I would take Caleb Williams. I would take him. I think that he's that much better than Justin Fields. He's more accurate than Fields. He can improvise well. Fields can run the football better. But Caleb Williams hasn't beat in just about every category, and it's not even remotely close. And then if Caleb Williams is out there dealing, if he's out there balling, that's not going to be good either. In fact, too, last year you could have taken C.J. Stroud, and that would have been awkward with Ohio State. But how many times are you going to pass on quarterbacks that are going to come into this league and light this league up? So what are you going to do if you're Chicago?